Welcome back to another episode of the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel. I'm your host Terry, and today we are going back to the film to look at Joe Alt. We're also going to look at Kingsley Suamataia, another tackle that I like. And again, I like these back-to-back comparisons because it kind of helps you see the differences, I think, when you watch them back-to-back. So yeah, a lot of, obviously Joe Alt is one of the top prospects. And we're gonna do a show pretty soon talking about like the different scenarios for number 9, and but I'll give you a sneak preview. I just don't know that Joe Alt ever gets to us. I think there's too many people, but we never know, man. Stuff might be pretty crazy, so people want to see Joe Alt, so we're gonna go through. Again, shout out to this channel. And matter of fact, let's really shout them out, because actually, this is NFL Film Room. There's another channel too, but I subscribe to them too. But they put together these cuts and these packages with actual, all 22 films. So I appreciate that because it gives us the best angle. So anyway, this is against Clemson. This only pass blocks. Again, we got this quarterback obsession world, but we're going to go also after this to the Ohio State game because I do want to look at him in his full roundedness, not just pass blocks. So anyway, let's go ahead and get it started. We'll be moving at 50% speed. So this one, actually, let me see. So this is a quick throw. Almost felt like a play action because he stepped to the DN. But as you can see, he moves his feet, and that's probably the critical thing that takes Joe Alt to a new level. He's always moving his feet, and I showed you that tackle last time against Dallas Turner, who just stopped moving his feet, and you see that happen a lot. So this time, people say, okay, he has a short arm, and that guy got the sack, but come on, that has nothing to do with Joe. So people say he's got shorter arms, blah, blah, blah. He's 6'9". He's got the extension. He's got the frame and extension. So this guy tries the long arm, and you can see that he has the balance and the power and the extension to keep that distance neutral without getting knocked off guard. And really, hands are tight. He just kind of anchored and took that bull rush, but second effort they got that sack. And then right there, that's just good feet. Again, we talked about with Turner, you got the path to the quarterback, and once you get too wide, the good tackles, they'll be able to run you right around. That path was super wide. That quarterback only took like a 2-step drop, so that was easy work. Again, a play action. Actually, no, this is a run. They say pass blocks, but then they put a run in there. So that was a kick out. That was pretty easy. So now double team. Look, now that's just good work by both of them. But you could tell when I watch this play, what I see is a guy that understands the angles. Look how he seals it off. Turns, flips his hips, puts his butt to the play, like I say, and completely, even if that guy beats him, he's in the right spot. Let me go back. Sorry, I love that stuff. That's that old school run blocking. Like, put your butt to the play. Shield that guy off, and then they was able to do a 2-for-1. So again, you get a guy that we know can pass block, but you see runs like that too. So this guy tried to do an inside move, a little bit of a decoy, but got completely shut down. And again, that's just the strength and balance. So he's not just a 6'9" frame. His lower body's heavy, and he's got power. Again, steps to the end, doesn't really have any moves for him. So I would say that's bad on the D-line, and Joe Alt initially loses on that first move, but he recovers. So he shimmies, he gets caught on the counter, but then he moves his feet and gets him washed down into the rest of the mix, and that's good on the rest of the O-line too. But in that play, you can see Joe Alt recover instead of just letting the guy run free. So then we kick back again. This DN, I'm not sure who he is, but he doesn't have much of a rush plan, so he's just bully balling, and Joe Alt is anchoring and eating all of that. So again, we do got another run play. It's hard to see there. Everything kind of got mashed up. But then you also notice Alt's hands, they don't get wide. Like when he had the initial, and if you go back to the other plays, you'll see it too. But once he has the initial contact, look where his hands are. His hands, look, his elbows are tight. His hands are into the chest. His hands aren't on his shoulder pads. His hands aren't wrapped around his waist like you see some of these guys. The hand placement is great. And for him to be that tall, because a lot of times these guys are going to be shorter than him, he still gets his hands down right into the frame where you want it to be. And as you could pretty much see, because it's been 98 pretty much this whole time, he has nowhere near enough strength or juice to play with Joe Alt. Joe Alt is sitting on everything he does. Now, and then you see plays like this, which illustrate kind of what I said earlier. Watch the feet. He doesn't just let them go. He's mirroring. When they talk about the mirror drill, this is the point, and he's doing it in a real game. I'm standing in front of you like this is basketball. And you don't see that. I'm telling you, it's a lot harder than you think it is. People will say, just do that. Yeah, a lot of these guys can't. And it's just, they don't have the muscle memory to do that. So we got another run here. Not too much happening on that one. So now we see him pull, open the hips, get athletic. And that block was okay. I mean, that guy's a lot faster than him. I would like to see him shield that off better. So now patience, catches, rise him right out. I mean, that is beautiful. That is obviously, you know, these aren't like elite level athletes, but still, that is like, that's textbook. That's what you want. He doesn't overreact. Look at the hands. Look at the hands. You'll see, if I watch these other tackles, I would show you. There a lot of lunging, a lot of really early hits. Patient hands. I don't have to do my punch yet. I'm waiting. I have the agility to mirror you. You shaking, shimmying. I'm not getting lost. Okay, now hands come at contact. So now I know I'm with you. I don't have to lunge at you early. I know I'm with you. And once I'm with you, okay, you want to go here? I'm going to take you here. I'm going to ride you right out the pocket because I got the strength too. That's just beautiful. See, we got another run. But again, I mean, that running back bounces it. But you look at this initial gap for what Joe is responsible for. Hate when it keeps doing that. Because really, that's the tight end that lost his block. But you look at what Joe's responsible for. Watch what he does. He turns his hips, drives, puts his butt to the play that creates an open lane. Now, if you got the rest of the guys doing what they do, look at that. Come on now. I mean, one-on-one, double team, working together. It's beautiful technique, man. It's beautiful technique all around. All right, so we'll jump over to Ohio State, where you got a more highly touted edge prospect. I know his name's TJ. I don't know his last name, but he went back to Ohio State. And we won't watch the whole game. We'll just go through a little bit. So that was a run there. We got a pass pro. And honestly, that's what you want to see more than anything, because today's offensive lines are getting destroyed by these stunts and games. Why? I don't know. They seem simple to pick up. But, you know, you got some guys that just don't have technique. Now, so you watch Joe Alt. He's going up against TJ, initial bull rush. And now he has to switch. A, he recognizes it, hands come off, eyes are there. B, has the athleticism to move his feet and finish that play off. Now you look at this huge gain. That gain's not possible if you don't have a tackle who has the ability to sort protect, is what I call it, and that's switch off and block it in the zone. So now that was just a quick screen, not much happening there, but Joe Alt had to block down to the second level. We saw him kind of stumble. Play action here, and again, I think if I'm watching any of these guys this year, what is most impressive from Joe Alt is how his feet keep moving. He doesn't stop his feet on contact. He doesn't just, hit you and stand there and watch you go. Like, he's going to keep working the block to make sure he stays with you. So this one again, just kind of a power rush. He had nothing for him. I mean, the body's so wide that his edge is hard to get around. And then when you try to power him, he sinks. Now, that wasn't great. Now, this is one thing I wouldn't say worry about, but this is one thing you'll probably see. He's so tall that, like, again, getting down to make that block is a little tough for him. It's a little hard. Those targets are going to be harder for him on the second level because he's really tall. But that doesn't mean he won't be able to get in the way, and I think he'll find out that that's all he really needs to do. That last one was a quick throw. Again, we got a zone block. We see him finishing the play. It's a little tougher. There we go. I was going to say it's a little tougher without the tight shot. So we got a zone block. Down to the next level. But again, you see how much, like, again, he has to bend down to make that, but look how much he's able to sink. He's sinking his hips. He's getting low. He's getting eye level with this linebacker that's probably like 4 inches shorter than him. And so again, you see the body type, you see the athleticism, and he's just a hard worker. So on this one, he has help, but I don't know how much he needed it. I mean, he mirrored that pretty well, the spin, everything like that. And what I think you'll see in college, and I'll be interested to see what happens in the NFL, is a lot of guys, again, he's so wide that getting his edge is not really going to be the smart thing to do. So you see a lot of these college guys try to bull rush him. They try to go straight through the middle. But he's anchored against all of them, and so we'll see how they approach him in the league. I hate when it does that. So this time, I mean, TJ does a good job getting his hands into his chest. They both kind of battle in that way. Now, Joe isn't getting destroyed by any means, but he's definitely walking back into the quarterback. So that was a good rep by TJ. But even again, it's just a hard task for a DN to do that. So we got a zone. He down blocks. Not much happening there. And I like him as a zone blocker, but I think he's going to be a much better in the scheme where they just gap block more, just kick people out. But most teams zone block in the NFL these days. And he's capable, but if all he has to do is kick the DN out in the run, I think he'll be even better. So that one again, man, just the frame itself, just making it hard for the DN to even figure out what move he wants to do. But TJ's got a good motor. I think, is it TJ or JT? I think it's JT. But he's got a good motor, and he's just, again, continuing to work Alt back slowly, but Alt not giving up that initial pressure. So we got play action, pass pro. I mean, it's away from him, so there's not much he has to do there. All right, we go to this next one. Looks like a screen. So a lot of teams will run these screens to both sides. They went to the opposite side, but we see Alt getting out in space. We see the athleticism. And again, all at 6'9", 6'8", some change, almost 6'9". And again, as I say, every play is something to see, especially with offensive linemen. So we'll watch like two more. See, we got a pass pro, initial contact, and that's the thing. So when they do these play actions or they do these pass sets where it's a short pass set and he's not catching and he gets to initiate the contact, I think there's nothing you can do unless you just got an incredible counter. Once he initiates the contact with you and you don't have a head of steam, I mean, I think it's locked down. So some of the better pass rushers in the league, yeah, they'll have something for that, but most won't. So again, we got another zone. And look at him, run the feet. That's a perfect play to end on. This is what this is why he's an elite prospect. You don't see that. You don't see the ability. You don't see the want to. He's running his feet with, like, he's literally playing basketball. And he's staying with his defender the entire time. So that is beautiful. That's Joe Alt. And we'll see what differences we see. This is Oregon that BYU's going against. So Kingsley plays the left tackle most of the time for the team, I believe. Or at least I know he's played snaps at both. So now we got a pass play. With that, you see Kingsley struggling a little bit with his height because he's a tall guy too. Now he's struggling a little bit to get low with this guy, but it's a quick protection just off of play action. He shields off the space. It ain't perfect, but it's effective. He does what he has to do. All right, so again, another pass pro, and here we go. Now, this was a stunt, or a game, I should say, a little twist, but it was poorly executed. Didn't make it hard at all, or I shouldn't say a stunt, but a blitz. So, easily, that guy was never doing nothing with Kingsley, but then we had a blitzer coming through the same gap, so the D-line is working this way, the blitz is going that way. I don't know if it's designed like that or what, but it made it easy to kind of trap both of these guys. But you see Kingsley now that you see the ability to move the feet, but you got to finish that play. So we got a zone. Kicks this man out. Just kind of in the way. Got another one. Ends up letting him win on the edge. I mean, the initial block is good, but then you got to keep moving your feet. So he goes inside. You know the ball's coming outside. Keep moving your feet. Stay on his outside shoulder. Stops the feet too much. Gets too involved in trying to hunch over. Lets the guy go outside of him. And again, the athleticism's there, but you gotta finish it. So we got a chip on the edge rusher. And again, I think, I watch Kingsley and I'm like, just naturally, he's effective. But now we gotta get the technique because this anchor is not good. You hopping too much. We need to anchor down and stop that pass rush. So kick slide here, inside move, not bad. Now you got to recover. I mean, you made one move to stop the inside rush. Now you got to make the second move to get the person that's flying outside. And again, so you saw Joe Alt do it. You're like, oh, that's easy. But man, it's not easy. It's not easy, and it ain't common. So again, here, initial contact. There's nowhere for the guy to go. Kingsley's like 6'7", something like that, 6'6". and just a wide frame. Once you get that initial contact up top, it's hard. Now you get the steam. Now he's catching. Stops the rush initially, but again, got to move your feet. All right, someone pulls. They take this edge. The guy's got nowhere to go. And Kingsley's just not a natural bender like Joe Alt. I think that highlights again the difference in Joe Alt. Like, you see Kingsley struggling to bend over with these targets that are shorter. So that, again, early punch that you don't need. Patient hands. You shoot early, you don't really need to. He gets those hands off. Again, the edge is so wide, it's hard to get around Kingsley, but he just made it easier by shooting his hands early. All right, find some work. Show us you're aware. Not bad. Quarterback kind of goes into harm after that. All right, kick slide. You gotta, hands are too wide. Gotta catch that. But his body control is naturally pretty good. Okay, keeping one guy check, waiting for the other one. It's pretty good use of space. All right, solo guy pins inside. Other guy comes outside. Better hand placement. Kingsley's one of those guys, and it's a lot of them, that they're a big dude, and they're like, kind of like a quarterback with big arm syndrome. They're like, I got a big arm, I'm going to fit it in there. Some of these guys like, hey, I'm just big. They're not going to bully me, so I don't have to use my technique. And that's what you have to coach out of these guys to get them to an elite level. All right, the reach, the amount of space he takes up is hard. You got to kind of catch him with a head of steam. Look, and even then, so not super effective. He has terrible technique. Kingsley's hands are super wide. Terrible technique, but it's just hard to get around him. All right, down there in the red zone. Again, another chip. That was pretty easy. Quick throw. Nothing for Kingsley to do there. All right, solo on the edge. Now you got to be more aware. He did that, his job fine initially, but now you got to be more aware. We need you to be able to take the looper. And that makes me wonder about his hips, because some guys, like, he makes that initial move to flip his hips inside. Some guys can't make another move off of that and flip their hips back. And that's athleticism. That's what you saw with Joe Alt. All right, one-on-one pass rush. Hands a little wide, but stops that rush. Again, just pure strength and balance. We got a zone. Running the feet pretty well. And again, you see plays like that, and you're like, I want you to use your feet like that consistently. All right, short set. Guy goes inside. This time they're kind of manned up. That's good stuff. And so you watch these plays, and to me, I start to formulate, okay, maybe this guy's a one-cut guy. If he makes one move, he has to go that way. He's not going to be able to redirect. He's not going to have that change of direction. All right, so we go back to that. Pass rush. Patient. Feet just stops. And you can see it. His feet stops dead on contact. All right, feet planted. And guy just keeps running around him. So with Kingsley, it's a little frustrating because you see that he has that ability. But again, as I said with Joe Alt, it's just not natural for a lot of people to do that. But you see the amount of space he's just able to eat up, especially in a short area. Just able to engulf a defender. And has the anchor and the strength to withstand even his bad technique. So if you can clean that up, man, you really, I think, have a legit player. So pass rush, again, patient, a lot better. Didn't lunge early. Patient, patient. And he just elbows him. I want to see better technique there, but that wasn't bad. And then we'll watch this last play. Got the sprint out, so the running back got him. So that's pretty simple. All right, so those are the two tackles we looked at today. Yeah, I don't think I have pretty much anything to add. I do like Kingsley. I think I really think he'll go late, like very end of the first, high second, but he might drop because some of the tools. But his natural anchor, I think, is going to have a lot of teams intrigue him, and I definitely think that's a possible target for us somewhere in the later rounds if he does fall. Not advocating, but he is a guy that I liked on film, so I wanted to just use him to juxtapose against Joe Alt. And Joe Alt, I don't think I need to explain. We kind of saw what he was. So go down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share it around. Get the conversation started. Thumbs up, subscribe. And remember, stay up and bear down.